My dear students, today's topic is about the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system, and the next topic is about what happens when the egg is not fertilized in the fallopian tube. And the fourth topic is what happens if the egg is fertilized, thereafter fertilization, gestation and parturition. So in this video I will be discussing about all these topics. So let's start. Male reproductive system. In human male, the reproductive system is associated with two main functions. First is the formation of the gamete and second is the transfer of the gamete, that is the sperm, to the female reproductive tract. Now what does the male reproductive system comprises of? The male reproductive system is comprised of the primary reproductive organ and the accessory reproductive organs, that are few of the glands and other structures. So what is the primary reproductive organ in a human male? It is a pair of testes. It includes some ducts like vas efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. The accessory reproductive organs and glands include the urethra, and the glands include the seminal vesicles, Copper's gland and prostate gland. Now the testis lies in a loose fold of skin called scrotum or scrotal sac. The scrotum hangs down from the abdomen at the base of the penis. The temperature of the scrotum remains 1 to 3 degrees centigrade lesser than that of the body temperature, which is suitable and is necessary for the maturation of sperm. Each testis is composed of tightly coiled structure known as seminiferous tubules, which are embedded in the connective tissue. Now inside which is present the Leydig cell, that is present in the connective tissue between the seminiferous tubule, and it secretes the male hormone testosterone. The seminiferous tubule produce sperms, that is the male gamete, and the Sertoli cell nourish the developing sperm. Next come the associated ducts. The associated ducts include the vas efferentia, the epididymis, the vas deferens. The vasa efferentia are 12 to 14 fine tubules. They carry sperm into the epididymis. The epididymis is about 4 to 6 meter long tube. It is highly coiled and lies closely attached to the testis of its side in the scrotal sac. Epididymis nourish and store the sperm and serve as a passage for sperm from testis to the vas differentia. The vasa deferens or the vasa differentia, it is a thick walled tube called vas deferens that travels from the scrotum to the body, joins the seminal vesicle. The vas deferens along with the seminal vesicle open into the ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory duct on the two sides lead into urethra, and the junction of the two remains surrounded by prostate gland. Now the accessory reproductive organs in the male are the urethra and the penis. The urethra, it is about the tube which is about 20 cm in length. Urethra is a common tube through which both urine and sperms are expelled out of the body. The distal part of the urethra passes through the penis to open outside. The penis is a muscular and erectile copulatory organ of man. It is made up of 3 bundles of loose muscles. On being stimulated, the tissue of the penis gets filled with blood, making the penis erect and firm to discharge the sperms. The distal part of the penis is called the gland penis. It bears the opening of urethra through which the urine and the sperms are discharged. Next come the accessory reproductive glands. The accessory reproductive glands include the seminal vesicle. The function of the seminal vesicle is to store the sperm and produce viscous fluid, which stimulates the uterine contraction to help sperm ascend into the fallopian tube of female. The Copper's gland, which is also known as the bulbourethral gland, they secrete mucus which lubricates the female passage during copulation. The prostate gland, though through a small duct, prostate gland pours the secretion into the urethra. Prostate gland secretes a milky fluid which helps in the mobility of the sperm. Next is the sperm. The sperm are the male gamete. They are tiny bodies formed in the seminiferous tubules in the large number. A sperm contains mainly 3 main parts, that is the head, the middle piece and the tail. The head part of the sperm carry the main genetic material. It has a long tail that helps in swimming the sperm into the female tract. The characteristic beating of the tail help them to move towards the female germ cell, that is the ova, inside the oviduct. Now the semen. The semen is a mixture of mature sperm and secretion of various accessory gland. About 2.4 to 4 ml of semen is ejaculated in each ejaculation, which contains close to 100 million sperms. Semen is a milky, viscous alkaline fluid. Its alkalinity corrects the acidity of the male urogenital tract as well as of the vagina of female. Semen contains fructose, proteins and chemicals for the nourishment of the sperm as well as the mobility of the sperm. The female reproductive system. The female reproductive system includes the primary reproductive organ that are a pair of ovaries, the duct that are a pair of fallopian tube, the accessory reproductive organ like ureter, vagina and vulva. The ovaries are a pair of almond-shaped structure located close to the lateral cavity, one on either side of the uterus. Ovaries have dual function. One is they produce the female sex cell or ova. Second is they secrete the sex hormones of the female that are the estrogen and the progesterone. The estrogen is produced by the granulosa cells of the ovarian follicle, and the progesterone is secreted by the corpus luteum and helps in the maintenance of the pregnancy. A mature ovary contains a large number of ova in different stages of development. Now, ova are produced by the cells of the germinal epithelium of ovary. The formation of ova begins in the female child even before its birth. This is a very vital point to remember, children, so listen to it very carefully. At the birth, every ovary of the fetus of the girl child contains about 2 to 3 lakhs of immature egg at the primary follicle stage. After attaining the sexual maturity or puberty of the girl, one primary follicle matures every month under the influence of the follicle stimulating hormone, which is also known as FSH, which is secreted from the pituitary gland. In a woman, one ovum matures during each menstrual cycle inside the Graafian follicle and is released from either of the two ovaries at an interval of 28 days by the rupture of the Graafian follicle. A mature ovum is surrounded by nutritive and protective cells. The process of release of the ovum from the ovary is called ovulation. Now come the oviducts or the fallopian tubes. The oviducts of the fallopian tubes are paired tubes. They are originating from the uterus, one on either side of it. They extend up to the ovary of their respective sides. The terminal part of the fallopian tube is funnel shaped with finger-like projections called fimbriae lying near the ovary. Fimbriae pick up the ovum released from the ovary and push it to the fallopian tube. Next very important structure of the female reproductive system is the uterus. It is a single pear-shaped, highly muscular hollow structure present in the pelvic cavity between the urinary bladder and the rectum. The development of the fetus occurs inside this uterus. Hence, it is also known as womb. The narrow lower part of the uterus is called the cervix, which leads into the vagina. The vagina is a short and wide muscular tube. It is lined with mucous membrane and lies between the urethra and the rectum. It measures about 10 cm in length. Its wall is highly muscular and the smooth muscles widens the vaginal opening during childbirth. Vagina receives sperms during intercourse or mating and acts as birth canal as well during the childbirth. It also acts as a passage for menstrual flow. The opening of the vagina in young girls is partially closed by the thin membrane called hymen, or it is also known as the virgin knot. It is ruptured at the time of first intercourse or due to various types of strenuous physical exercises during the childhood. The final reproductive structure of the female is the vulva. The vulva is the external genitalia of the human female. It contains the following structures like labia majora, labia minora, and clitoris. The next topic is fertilization, gestation, and parturition. Fertilization is the process of fusion of male and female gamete. It takes place in the female body in the oviduct. So, human female or human being show internal fertilization. During copulation, 300 to 400 millions of sperm are released into the vagina in a single ejaculation, but only one sperm is able to enter the ovum and fertilize the ovum in the upper part of the fallopian tube. After the sperm fertilizes the ovum in the oviduct, the fusion of the nucleus of the sperm and the ova take place. And thus, after the fusion, the formation of zygote take place. The zygote divide rapidly by mitotic division and slowly move down into the fallopian tube to form a hollow ball of cells. By the 7th day of the fertilization, the embryo is transformed into blastocyst. The blastocyst now sinks into the endometrium and gets fixed in the uterus. This process of attachment of the blastocyst in the uterine wall is called implantation. And further, this embryo forms the various parts of the body and develop into fetus. So next topic is gestation or pregnancy. Once the embryo is implanted in the endometrium of the uterine wall, the female is called pregnant because the gestation period starts. A disc-shaped structure develops in the embryo called the placenta. The placenta is a physiological connection between the embryo and the uterine wall of the mother. This disc-shaped structure embedded in the uterine wall helps the fetus to get oxygen and nutrient from the mother's blood, and also it helps to remove the carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste from the blood of the fetus. It produces hormone progesterone for maintaining pregnancy too. The cord containing blood vessel connects this placenta with the fetus. This cord is called umbilical cord. The full term of the development of the embryo in the mother's uterus is called gestation period, which is about 280 days or 40 weeks, or you can say 9 months. After this period, the fetus is ready for birth. Now finally, after the formation of the fetus in fully matured way, a few weeks before birth, the fetus usually turns over in the uterus so that it lies the head downward just over the opening of the cervix. The child is born as a result of rhythmic contraction of the muscles of the uterus wall. The event in the birth of the child is first signed by the labor or the labor pain, and this is induced by the hormone oxytocin in such a way that the fetus is forced out. The pain arising due to the uterine contraction and relaxation is called the labor pain. The birth of the child is called parturition. After the few minutes of the childbirth, the placenta detaches from the uterine wall and is expelled out. This separation of the placenta from the uterine wall is called after birth. What happens when the egg is not fertilized? If the egg is not fertilized, it lives for 1 day or 24 hours in the fallopian tube and then it is expelled out. This sets in the motion of menstrual cycle. So menstrual cycle is a series of cyclic changes occurring in the reproductive system of human female. This is a 28-day cycle and is controlled by the changes in the level of estrogen and progesterone hormone. My dear student, it was all about the today's topic. I hope you have understood this topic very well and there is no doubt left. If you have any type of doubt, you can comment me in the comment section below. So thanks for watching this video and just wait for the another video to be uploaded by me very soon, that is about the reproductive health, family planning and sexually transmitted diseases. So for that you have to subscribe my channel if you want to know more about the next topic. Stay tuned with me. Thanks for watching. Bye.